Today we're talking about, so if you have an amount, we've always looked at amounts in math, but there's sometimes we want to look at more than amounts. We might want to be moving things or accelerating things or applying forces to things. Well, then direction and amount makes a difference. So we're going to have a way of representing that with something we're going to call vectors. And before we talk about vectors, we need to know what a non-vector is. A scalar amount is considered something that is described with one number. That's the way in math we're going to talk about it. In physics, it's kind of the same thing. For example, 7 degrees, one number. 10 kilograms, one number. 4 gallons, one number. Okay, 212 pounds on a good day, one number. So when we describe things with one number, length, volume, temperature, time, mass, charge, it's a scalar quantity. But sometimes we can describe things with more than one number, and it's usually a scalar quantity followed by a direction. And there we're going to use a vector quantity. And you've heard of these before.
Hey. I'm applying for a new building loan. Go by the name of Vector. And it's a mathematical term. Quantity represented by an arrow with both direction and magnitude. Vector! That's me, because I'm committing crimes with both direction and magnitude. Oh yeah!
So, vectors, magnitude, and direction. So if you're looking at a plane taking off, you now want to know the speed and you want to know the direction. Are they going to California or are they going to New York? Okay. If you're swimming, if you're running, the speed is important, but the direction you're going makes a difference too. Force, if I'm applying a force on this desk, then would be interested if I'm going this way, or if I'm applying this force that way. You'd also be interested in what that force would be. Is it a lot, or is it a little bit? You know, what is it? So that is a vector quantity. Go zipping down to the end, please. And we're going to do just a little bit of assignment 1. I want you to go through these 8, and I want you to describe them as scalar or vector, and just put a little reason why. For the first one, it says the following situations described. Tell me, is it a scalar or vector? How many said 1 was a scalar? How many said it was a vector? Yeah, it's a vector because if the chair is moved, it's going to take some kind of a force, right? But what else do we want to know? The direction, because it's moving from front to back. Good. How many said that a bank balance account was a vector? How many said it was a scalar? Okay. Why did you say, Kale, that it's a scalar? It is a one number. What if I had a number of 5,000? Is there any way that could not be a scalar? Yeah.
I mean, you could say that since it's in the positive direction of money, that it's got 2 things, but that's like stretching it a little bit.
Yeah, so I would go either way with this one because 5,000 is definitely a one-number deal. But is that 5,000 in the red, which we say is we're behind, or is it in the black, which is positive? Do we owe 5,000 or do we have 5,000? If that number comes up 5,000 and you had a negative in front, then you would know with one number what that is. I would say that if you're putting a plus or minus sign in front, then it's a scalar. But if you're not, and you need to know whether it's ahead or behind, I'd say it's a vector. Does that make sense? Yeah. Some of these are kind of that way. This number 3 is, how many said electric current passing through an electric light bulb is a scalar? One number. How many said it's a vector? The direction matters. Okay? Everybody has to vote for one. Right now, raise your hand if you think it's a scalar. Okay? Like 3 amps, or that's a lot of amps. You don't want to touch that. How many say it's a vector? Come on. Nobody? There's one. Good for you. 2. Good. The answer is, if you're old-fashioned, it's a scalar. Okay? So imagine a light bulb like this, and it's connected to a battery like this. Okay? And if I took this battery and hooked up this light, and the light bulb gives off light, it's because the current goes through, and as it goes through these really bad conductor, it heats up and it gives off light. What if I switched the battery around? Would it still light? It would. With the old incandescent light bulbs, yes. But nowadays, we don't have incandescent light bulbs. We have something called LEDs, light emitting what? Diode. And a light emitting diode means that somewhere next to this light bulb is a little device with a symbol that looks like, whoop, I was on the wrong side there. Can't believe I did that. It has a little line here. That means the current, when it goes this way, lights the bulb. If it went the other way, if it tried to go back this way, it wouldn't light the bulb. And that's what our current light bulbs do. So, Emily and Derek, you are absolutely right. It is a vector quantity, current, for our light-emitting diode. Those new bulbs. But you old-timers, myself included, yeah, it's a scalar if it doesn't matter with the old light bulbs. How many of you have dogs? And take them for walks? Yeah? Is a dog being restrained by a lead, is that a scalar or a vector? Definitely a vector, because the dog will go every which way. The direction the dog pulls is going to be different and matters. So it's definitely a vector. Direction, big deal with that, and force. How about an aircraft taking off? Vector, because it could go one way or the other way. How about wind conditions on a yacht? Yeah, that is vector because the direction matters. So this has the speed of the wind, and the direction makes a big difference. How about amount of liquid in a jug? I don't know where they come up with jug. Anyway, yeah. And then that's definitely scalar. One number, half a gallon, pint. And then the length of the car, what will that be? Scalar. So there you have it. Vectors have 2 numbers, usually a magnitude and a direction. Scalars have a single number to describe an amount.